Locked On Podcast Network presents Locked On Sports Today.
The Lions halted the Cowboys' momentum in a must-win Thursday night battle. Also, the Packers host the Bears in a huge NFC North showdown. And can Bo Nix be trusted once the Broncos get to the playoffs?
I'm Peter Bukowski, starting your day with the can't-miss stories and biggest debates in sports. You're Locked On Sports Today.
Searching all major sports. Found.
Let's start with the biggest story.
The Detroit Lions shook off a tough loss on Thanksgiving to the Green Bay Packers and thumped the Dallas Cowboys on another Thursday night game, 44-38. Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown sealed the deal for the Lions. They land at 8-5, still very much in the mix in the NFC playoff race. Matt Derry from Locked On Lions joins me now. And Matt, what was the biggest difference between what we saw, what you and I saw, on Thanksgiving and this Thursday night contest?
Pete, they won at the line of scrimmage. I mean, period. I mean, you mentioned the Thanksgiving Day game, which I know you loved every minute of because Jordan Love had a vacation in the backfield.
Yeah.
He could have sat back there time with a couple of Mai Tais and some jerk chicken and just, feasted all day at vacation time. But instead, the Lions got after Dak Prescott. 5 sacks tonight, a bunch of quarterback hits. Al-Qadim Muhammad, who had been on a milk carton for a month, had 3 sacks tonight. And up front for the Lions on the offensive line, they mixed in a rookie in Miles Frazier at left guard who had never played before. And he was effective at times, and they were able to run the ball and keep Jared Goff clean. So winning at the line of scrimmage was huge, enabled them to put up a 40 spot, like you said, and a game they had to have. They had to have this. If they had dropped to 7-6, and especially in this division with what your Packers are doing and what the Bears are doing, they had to have this one, and so they're still alive.
And fighting against the Dallas Cowboys team that looked like they had turned the corner, right? They beat the Eagles, they beat the Chiefs, and suddenly they look like the scary team no one wants to play in the NFC playoff picture. And the Lions are going, hey, wait, don't forget about us. Let's not let it get lost either. Jared Goff, I thought, played pretty well against the Packers on Thanksgiving. It was just that Jordan Love played better. Another game where he was excellent. 25 of 34 for 309 and a touchdown. They got Jameson Williams heavily involved. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a surprise game time decision in and made some big plays for this team. It was a reminder of what this passing game can look like when they have their dudes and they have time to throw.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with St. Brown was he didn't practice all week. They said game time decision. He was active. And I think that fired up the team a little bit. It felt like, man, one of our leaders, one of our guys, like you said, one of our dudes is going to play through this. And he didn't want to come off the field. Dan Campbell said after the game tonight, they wanted to pull him off a few times just to give him a breather and rest the ankle. He's like, no, I want to play. And that's what Aiden Hutchinson does. He plays every snap. So on the defensive side, so those guys all stepped up. It was good to see. And look, now a little breathing room at 8-5, a big difference between 8-5 and 7-6, in my opinion. And now they got to go to LA to play the Rams, but at least they know they're in a decent position here to go on a run. And they needed this game desperately.
What is the biggest thing from this game, Matt, that you think carries over? Because as you said, they got the Rams this week. They've got the Steelers after that. And then, the Vikings, we'll see. But then, the Bears in the final week of the season, like they've got some monster games here moving forward. So what is the step you saw them take here that you go, okay, they can take this and carry that over to make this playoff push here?
They were called out by their defensive coordinator, Calvin Shepard, who promised changes. Now, I can't sit here and tell you until I watch all the film and hear him speak maybe this week what all those changes were, but they fired off the ball. They looked good. Aleem McNeil didn't play any edge tonight. They had been moving him out wide. Why? Leave him in the middle, and that's what they did. Muhammad played more snaps. They blitzed a little bit more. Jack Campbell got in there for what should have been a safety. I don't know what the officials are doing anymore, but like
that was definitely a safety,
right?
Let me be clear. Even from a Packers perspective, I'm like, that's a safety.
Thank you, Pete, for your support. But it's ridiculous. So, but at least they got pressure. So this is what they're going to have to do next week against Matthew Stafford. You give Stafford time, and if Lions fans know this, he'll pick you apart. So it starts up front with getting pressure and protecting their own quarterback. And I thought they did that very well tonight. And again, now let's hope that carries over for a little bit here. And because 4 sacks the last 4 games wasn't cutting it. Then you get 5 tonight in one game. That's pretty good.
Is this still a team in your mind capable of making not just a playoff push, but a real shot at making noise in the postseason?
I still believe it, but I want to see some more consistency, and I think they've got to get healthy. Tonight they lost Brian Branch. How long is he going to be out for? DJ Reed and Amik Robertson really, really struggled tonight at corner. Terrion Arnold's out a while. Other guys got hurt. Thomas Harper tonight got hurt, who was taking Kirby Joseph's spot. So the injuries are starting to pile up again, but no excuse. They got to go on a little bit of a run here and make it interesting. And like you said, being swept by Green Bay doesn't help. They got to play the Bears and the Vikings again in the division. So get to 3-3 in the division if they can win those games. But I do believe that this team is good enough, especially tonight where you saw the offense flex a little bit, that they can do this.
Stay up to date all year on the Detroit Lions by subscribing to Locked On Sports Today and Locked On Lions on your favorite podcast app. You're Locked On Sports Today. Coming up, all eyes on Packers-Bears this weekend. Before we get to that, the Raptors played host to the Lakers. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more, and keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Scotty Barnes and the Raptors welcome Luka Doncic and the Lakers to Toronto.
This is Andy Kamenetsky, co-host of the Locked On Lakers podcast, and the Lakers get a 123-120 win over the Raptors in Toronto, shorthanded, without Luka Doncic or Marcus Smart. The Lakers played a really scrappy, gutsy game with Austin Reeves taking over for Luka as the offensive engine. 44 points, 13 of 21 from the field, 5 of 11 from behind the arc, 13 of 15 at the line, plus 10 assists, a true star performance from Reeves. And the game winner was set up on a drive and dish by LeBron, whose double-digit scoring streak from 2007 ended tonight at 8 points, 4 of 17 from the field, but he had 11 assists against 0 turnovers, including one setting up Rui Hachimura in the corner for 3 to beat the final buzzer. Just a great effort from the Lakers, cleansing themselves from an absolute debacle on Monday against the Suns. For more Lakers coverage, make sure you're watching Locked On Lakers on YouTube and listening wherever you get your podcasts.
The Warriors squared off with the Sixers in a thriller.
An absolute wild finish saves a win for the 76ers as they beat the Golden State Warriors 99-98. Tyrese Maxey gets the ball in his hands with his team down a point, goes to put up a shot, but it's blocked by DeAnthony Melton with 2 seconds left in the game. The ball falls right in the hands of EJ Edgecombe, who puts it up and in for the game-winning layup. But down the other end of the court, they'd be able to inbound the ball right to former Sixer DeAnthony Melton, and Tyrese Maxey would return the favor, blocking Melton's shot and sealing the win for the Sixers. Now, a game like this, Steph Curry didn't make the trip. Also, Draymond Green only played 9 minutes of this game. The Sixers should have kept doing exactly what they did do early in the game, which was blow the Warriors out by 24. But in the second half, thanks to turnovers and going ice cold from the floor, the Warriors actually outscored the Sixers by 21 points in the third and fourth quarter combined.
The Celtics beat up on the Wizards.
Boston Celtics get the easy win over a bad team. Pretty standard blowout over a shorthanded Wizards team. I'm John Corrales of the Locked On Celtics podcast. Get right game for Derek White, which is important. 30 points. He shot 42% from 3. Jordan Walsh continues his just incredible run. He was everywhere. He dropped a career-high 22, his first ever 20-point game. But he had a couple of steals, a block. He turned the game around in the second quarter with his defense, which led to offense. I know this is a game that the Celtics should have won by 40 like they did, but it's still, I could not ever expect a game this season where Jordan Walsh, Josh Minott, Hugo Gonzalez all looked as good as they did for different stretches. Celtics are hitting on some of these fringe guys, and that's what this season is about. It's about finding guys that are going to accentuate Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown whenever the Celtics are fully healthy and fully realized, either by the end of this season or the beginning of next. So this is what you're supposed to do. And to see these guys come out and play the way they're supposed to play, not try to go off for their own, not try to stat pad, and succeed by playing the right way, that's really the important thing. I'll have much more on this on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
The Packers can reclaim the NFC North lead with a win over the Bears this weekend. I sat down with Locked On Bears host Lauren Cox to preview this gigantic NFC North matchup. This is going to be so much fun. Let's just remember the rivalry is fun. There's going to be vitriol, and that's okay too. But I don't know if you caught it. There was a little shot from Matt LaFleur this week at Ben Johnson. He said something to the effect of, I should have gotten the quote, but he said something to the effect of basically Ben Johnson's a really good coach. Just ask him. That's not exactly what he said, but that was the sentiment.
Yeah.
And this comes after Ben Johnson took a shot at Matt LaFleur in the opening press conference, even though they're not really friends. It's not really a thing. And so, look, if there's going to be some bad blood here with the coaches, if there's going to be a chilly handshake, if this is going to be a Mike Zimmer, Mike McCarthy, let's go. I'm for it. I'm ready.
See, I'm really curious how real that is and how tongue in cheek it is, because I think when Ben Johnson said it the first time, he was trying to be cute. He was trying to score points. Yeah, but I think there's also sort of a smile and a nod of an understanding that there's a mutual respect there of I like beating Matt LaFleur twice a year because he's a good coach and it means a lot to be able to beat a quality coach. I think there's an undertone of are you being a little overly charitable here? Well, I don't know. The way he smiles,
trying to score some cheap points for the fan base, and he did it. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I just told you I'm fine with it. I think both coaches realize, hey, that's a really smart offensive coach on the side, and I want to be better than him. And so absolutely score points for the fan base along the way, but also I think they do legitimately have a lot of respect for each other in the job they do and know that, hey, this is going to be a real battle on Sunday. Here's the real quote, and this was on Pat McAfee's show. So you're also McAfee creates an environment where you might just find yourself making a joke like this. But Matt LaFleur, talking about Chicago, said Chicago's done a nice job of adding to their roster, and you get a good football coach, as he said himself, in Ben Johnson. That's isn't that exactly what I said? He's a great coach. Just ask him. Yes, exactly. I mean, you got to. Funny. I think it's funny. I think it's great, and that's part of the deal. Evan Williams. We talked about Evan Williams on the show yesterday as Packer safety, who I think is one of the keys. He's not one of my keys to victory, but I think he's one of the keys to the run defense for the Packers. He's become one of the best run defending safeties in the NFL. He's so instinctive. He comes downhill with bad intentions, makes sure tackles. But he was I noticed right away the first game against the Bears. The energy is different. The fans are different. Everything is different. And everyone's got to know. Everyone's got to play to that level. And so we haven't talked enough right now about two things: turnovers and Jordan Love. And those are, to me, intertwined when it comes to the keys to victory. Yeah. Because I think if Jordan Love doesn't turn the football over, it's going to be tough for the Bears to consistently get stops against this offense, because I think this offense is really playing at a high level. Jaden Reed, we think, is going to be back in this game. He's been practicing. They opened his practice window a week before the Lions game. He did not get ready enough. But with the extra time, my expectation is Jaden Reed is going to play. Matt LaFleur was talking like Jaden Reed is going to play. He has made some really big plays against the Bears in his short, so far, NFL career. So if Jordan Love takes care of the football, to me, that is the key, because Bears fans get mad at me when I said this. But if you take turnovers away, 30th in EPA per play. Okay, forget the turnovers. 30th in yards per play on defense. So down, the defense has some problems. They create turnovers at a preposterous rate. So don't do that if you're the Packers. That's my key. Just run the good plays, Matt LaFleur. No, just don't turn the ball over, which is easier said than done. What are they? They're getting 2 a game. Just don't turn the ball over, and I think you're giving yourself a really good shot to win this game. Yeah, and I don't know why Bears fans would get mad at you for that, because it's very clearly obvious. The Bears have had 2 games that they've won where they forced 1 punt in each of those games. They're not getting a lot. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. It was the Raiders and the Commanders, I think, were those 2 games. So it's drives end in points or turnovers. That's been so much of the Bears, results this season, and they've gotten a little bit better at that as the season. They're the 3 true outcomes of football teams.
Yes, well, and getting healthier is a big difference there. When you got Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon back in the secondary, and now looks like TJ Edwards is likely to be back this week at linebacker. So they feel like they've got some, they've got, as this is as healthy as they've been in about a month or so, and coming at the right time here. But from a key to victory standpoint, like that's something I'm really looking at is like how Matt LaFleur attacks specifically the middle of the field for the Bears, whether Edwards is back or not. Like we haven't really seen teams, take a tight end vertically up the seam and really challenge them that way. Like AJ Brown last week had 4 or 5 of those deep dig routes behind linebackers in front of the safeties, and that's how he got 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns in that game. Yep. Now he also had an interception on a jump ball that was thrown to him. So like there's some give and take there, and the Bears get the turnovers to make up for it. But there's some real weaknesses in this Bears defense. And on the other side of that, like their pass rush is non-existent. With a 4-man rush, they cannot generate pressure whatsoever. All their pressure comes on blitzes. Dennis Allen dialed it up more against Jalen Hurts than we've seen all season, but like they kind of just dabble in it. But when they did a 4-man rush on Hurts, he was almost perfect. I mean, in terms of like completion percentage and throwing accurate balls.
Jalen Hurts also the most blitz quarterback in the NFL this season because it's just not something he's great at. They've had really bad plans for it. I pulled the numbers for you. 31st in pressure rate, the Bears are 30th in non-blitz pressure rate and 29th in pass rush win rate. That's just not good enough. Like and that's part of the thing is like when Jordan Love has had his issues with turnovers, it's been because teams have been able to win without blitzing. He's the number 1 quarterback in the NFL this year against the blitz. He's also the number 1 quarterback in the league this year from a clean pocket. So like that puts you in a bad spot if you can't rush the passer, right? Like, so what do you do? Well,
I think the hope is like Packers injured and inconsistent offensive line has some trouble. And like for the Bears, you just got to hope like, does Montez Sweat have he's been fine, not as great as they wanted to be, but fine. But like everyone else has been pretty non-existent there. Like they just, at some point you need somebody to have a big game, whether it's Grady Jarrett or Javon Dexter or whoever, like they're starting to force.
Doesn't Javon Dexter lead the team in pressures?
I believe so, but there are a lot of like late pressures and cleanup stuff. Like it has not been a consistent, like, here's the guy on the interior that you really got to double team and watch out for. Like and a lot of it comes on like blitzing plays too, where somebody else gets picked up. So he gets 1-on-1 and he can come free. Do expect to see slot cornerbacks come in. That's kind of the main thing they like to do. And they go to the dime package and you got CJ Gardner-Johnson and Kyler Gordon out there and they can kind of line up all over the place. Like I think they'll have a few tricks up their sleeve, but it's a matter of like, can those couple of pressure plays generate that turnover, or just like it's about like timing and efficiency when you do get the pressure, because the volume is not going to be there.
Stay up to date all year on the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears by subscribing to Locked On Sports Today and Locked On Packers, and if you must, Locked On Bears on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Coming up, can Bo Nix be trusted in the playoffs? The Broncos are one of the best teams in the NFL for now. But could Denver fall apart once the playoffs roll around? Our Locked On NFL Players Squad show gave their take on whether or not the Broncos are legit and if quarterback Bo Nix can be trusted in the postseason.
The Broncos are the team to beat. The biggest thing with the Broncos, what I see is, can you trust Bo Nix in the playoffs?
What Sean Payton has been able to do with Bo Nix and hide his deficiencies in his sophomore slump year are remarkable. But it's mainly because of that defense. I'll say this. I think Denver wins the division with that defense. It's lights out. I think they win the division, but I also think they lose in the first round of the playoffs.
We saw what he did last year. They went to Buffalo, and I think they just choked out. They didn't look that great, but the defense has been lights out. There's no doubt about it. They are good. They got speed. They got energy. They got some damn corners that could cover the planet. They're good. Mm-hmm. But you know what? It'll come down to, can you trust Bo Nix in the playoffs?
For a game or two, the Broncos can hang, but they can't do their boomer bust stuff in the postseason where Bo Nix looks bad and then in the fourth quarter suddenly plays his best football. That's not going to work. And that would be more true in a season where the Ravens are really good or the Chiefs are really good. The Chiefs might not even be making the playoffs. But you look around the AFC, there are still some really good teams in the AFC. Against the Bills, are you going to take Bo Nix or Josh Allen? Even with the issues around the Bills, you're probably going to take the Bills, right? And so when you think of it that way, are you going to bet Bo Nix or are you going to bet Josh Allen if your life depended on it? I know who I'm going to take. And finally, Sonny Gray leaned straight into Boston. He waived his no-trade clause to join the Red Sox and finally said the quiet part out loud. He's happy to be in a place that makes it easy to hate the Yankees. After a Bronx stint, he said he never actually wanted and a 4.5 ERA that never felt like him. He's framing his landing in Boston as a reset. For a rotation that needed a durable arm behind Garrett Crochet, the fit is as much an attitude boost as it is extra innings. Fenway will love that, and Yankee Stadium will certainly hear it. If you're catching this episode after hearing your favorite Locked On show, make sure to subscribe to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Also, if you're a new subscriber to Locked On Sports Today, we're here for you with the biggest stories in sports every day. Coming up, it's conference championship weekend and the college football playoff bracket will be set on Sunday. Who's going to be in? Plus, it's a monster weekend of NFL football. So at least until tomorrow, stay locked on sports today.
Locked On Podcast Network presents Locked On Sports Today.
For more episodes of Locked On Sports Today, go to our video on demand. Click on sports at the top of your screen. There, you'll find past episodes of Locked On Sports Today, plus other Locked On shows on demand.